It's Monday, July 13th, 2020. I want to start today's video out by saying this. Governor Newsom, stop killing the California economy. Please stop it. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video. But there is so much happening right here in the US, so much happening in this economy. I was watching the Dow Jones this morning, and it was very concerning watching the melt up continue well above 500 points. And then California closes down. Dow Jones goes from 550 points down to 10 points. So I don't know what's more scary, watching this market melt up or how quick it can come down. Gold above $1,800 today. Silver well above $19 today. And as most of you, I'm witnessing my purchasing power decline every time I go to a store, every time I go to a restaurant. Now I can't even do that here in the state of California because they're all closed again. But as like all of you, I am witnessing the purchasing power of the US dollar get annihilated. It is buying less and less and less. And as I'm watching the market melt up today, as I'm witnessing the purchasing power of my monopoly money dry up, I went and bought more precious metals today, specifically gold. Of course, most of you know I shop at SD Bullion. I have a link down below if you're looking to buy gold or silver. I don't own a gold mine. I don't sell gold or silver, but they've been a great company. So I went to SD Bullion today and bought more gold. Later this week, I'll probably buy a little bit more silver. And it's exactly what my friends are doing right now. They're buying gold, they're buying silver, they're buying whatever they can buy at this point. And look, I think we have a very small window of opportunity here because that window is going to shut at some point. Again, watching these market melt-ups and watching how quick it can all come down, the whole thing is an illusion. One thing that isn't an illusion is the debt. This debt is a nightmare, and it's getting much, much worse. Another thing that's not an illusion is what's happening to your economy right before your very eyes. The only thing right now propping up this monopoly money we call the US dollar is its status as the world reserve currency. That's it. There's nothing behind it but the world reserve status. People still have faith in that. It's the least sickest puppy in the litter right now, but it is buying less and less, and you must be protecting your wealth. Look, I believe you should have some cash stacked away, no doubt about it, but this cash that you may be sitting on is going to buy less goods and services next year. It is losing value. So you really need to be diversified, making sure that some of that cash is parked in gold, in silver, and other assets. Ask yourself, how long will the US dollar maintain its privilege if the US continues to flood the world with US dollars? The dollar is losing value, ladies and gentlemen. It's obvious. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Yesterday, I was at the gas station, a candy bar, $1.50. A pint of ice cream, $5. You go to the grocery store, a box of cereal, $5. A loaf of bread, $5. It doesn't take a very high IQ to see that it's taking more dollars to buy the same product, but the same product isn't even the same. You're getting less cereal, and you're getting a lower quality cereal than you did years ago. We're spending more money and getting less for it. So make sure you are protecting yourself. Again, pay attention every time you go to the store of what that dollar is buying you, and I'm sure most of you already know that. So let's talk a little bit about what happened today. California, the California economy took a death blow as Governor Newsom has basically shut the California economy down. And while all this is going on, it's 121 degrees out here. 30 counties are now required to close indoor operations. unbelievable. As you know, as I watch these small business owners, the retailers, the restaurant owners, the mom and poppers, struggling just to hang on, and I'm doing whatever I can to support them. Like many of you already know, I will not shop at Walmart. I don't shop at Costco. I try to shop and give my money to the small retailers as much as I can, the small restaurants as much as I can. 30 counties now required to close indoor operations. Let me go over some of these. Fitness centers. So my gym, just a minute before I started filming this video, my gym just emailed me and told me they are now shutting down. They will not be open tomorrow. So I was able to get 3 weeks in, start putting a little bit of size back on, start feeling a little bit better, getting the blood back in the muscles, and now shut right back down. And I'll tell you, for the gym owners out there, my heart goes out to you. Tough business, especially with everything that is going on. Places of worship. Your church will be closed this Sunday. Offices for non-critical sectors. Hair salons and barbers. Malls and bars. You know, a lot of these restaurants have not been that busy. What's keeping them alive are the bars. The bars have been very busy, but the restaurants have not. So the restaurants that had bars in them were able to to continue some kind of business, even if they weren't serving a lot of food. They were serving booze and able to make an income. But this is absolutely brutal now. The California economy is in a death spiral. It has been brutalized. I cannot believe, but I do believe that this is taking place. Again, is anybody really surprised at what's happening here? This is really going to be a nail in the coffin for so many businesses, especially small businesses here in the state of California. Washington Post today. Workers are pushed to the brink as they continue to wait for delayed unemployment checks. It's amazing. Robert De Niro and his Nobu restaurants didn't have to wait for $28 million. They're fine. But we look at people in Lexington, Kentucky, like Alexis Herdez. She's been filing for unemployment every week since April, shortly after she was laid off from her job. 2 months later, she has yet to receive any payment. 47% unemployment in the state of Kentucky right now. Can you believe that? I mean, that's insane. So half the state of Kentucky is unemployed, and you have people like this woman who've been waiting since April and no payment has arrived. These people have rent, they have car payments, they have credit card payments, they need to eat food, they have water bills, they have air conditioning bills, and it's unbelievable what is taking place here in America. And again, it's another reminder, if you have the means, if you have the ability to protect yourself with gold, with silver, you better be doing it right now. Of course, you better have security, you better have food, water, all the essentials across the board. You cannot be one-dimensional here. You need to be covering all your preparations across the board. Thousands of frustrated workers awaiting payments have camped out, sometimes overnight, in front of the unemployment offices in states like Oklahoma, Alabama, Kentucky. These people are falling behind and they are being forgotten. And, you know, I've been reading a lot. Many of you, I've reported on this. They're talking about by the end of this summer, the end of this year, 28 million people possibly being homeless. And when you see what's happening in so many states and what's happening to so many people who still haven't even gotten payment since April, what happens when the repo man comes and takes your car? He doesn't care. The bank doesn't care if you didn't get a payment. All they care about, did you make your last car payment? And if you didn't, they're going to come take your car. Now what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you can't feed your kids? What happens when you can't pay rent? The moratorium is ending July 24th unless it's extended. Haven't heard anything about that. And so millions of people are going to be in very, very big trouble here who have not made a rent payment in months. Here's another article, this one on Bloomberg, and I'm just reading some of these to kind of give you a barometer of what's happening to the U.S. economy. Southwest Air says flyer numbers need to triple to avoid layoffs. Well, here's a news flash. They're not going to triple anytime soon. And with what just took place here in California, this had enough influence to actually pull the Dow Jones down over 500 points to end at 10 points in the positive today. This was a huge, huge blow. Absolutely amazing. You would think that such bad news would be good for the stock market, but these markets are so unpredictable, so volatile, and that's another reason, that's another warning sign. The volatility we're seeing is unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the stock market. Market was going up today. Wow, gold was going up with it, silver going up with it, and oil going down. So very odd, but there is definitely a run to safety when you're seeing gold over $1,800, silver over 19. Look, gold is going to 2,000. Silver is going to try to get to 20. Again, these are the most suppressed assets on planet Earth. And we're going to look back and at gold at 2,000, silver at 20 some odd dollars and go, it was a steal. Why didn't we buy more? It's got a long way to go. Look, technically nothing even bad has happened yet. Wait till these markets implode. The metals are going to the moon. It's going to be the only thing of value besides food and water. And if you don't have these metals, it's going to be very, very hard to buy other assets, because who's going to want to take fiat monopoly money, paper money that's being obliterated? Who's going to want to take paper? People are going to want real assets like gold and silver. That's real money. The paper is currency backed by nothing but faith. And what is going to happen when the world loses faith in the dollar? What will happen when people right here in America begin to lose faith in the dollar? It's going to take a lot more dollars to buy that loaf of bread. It's going to take a lot more dollars to buy a car. It's going to take a lot more dollars for anything, quite literally. So that gold and that silver, it's going to take a lot more dollars to acquire those two assets. But at some point, is anybody really going to sell their gold or their silver for paper? A paper that has nothing backing it, a paper where people are losing faith in it, the world is losing faith in it. Why would you sell your gold or silver for it? I think we may come to a point where you may call a bank and say, I want to buy that 100 acres or I want to buy that house. I'm not going to pay you in paper. I will pay you in gold or silver. And I think that that's a huge possibility coming to America. Here's another one. Dunkin' Donuts to close 450 stores permanently by the end of 2020. As I was out today, I'm driving by the furniture stores, the art galleries, the jewelry stores, the restaurants. They are being brutalized. And on top of it, it's 121 degrees out here. People have to wear their shields. Stores closing. It is really an unbelievable time. And it's like, here we go all over again. And this is definitely, I believe, going to be a nail in a coffin for so many business owners. The roads were very quiet today. The shopping areas, ghost towns. The restaurants, ghost towns. My heart goes out to all the small business owners right here in California and all over the country, no doubt. Many of them are going to be shutting down permanently. And how do they pay their mortgages? How do they pay their car bills? Look, this whole thing is a mess. And it is going to get a lot messier in the next few months. And there are going to be millions of casualties. And unfortunately, it is too late for millions of people already to even begin to prepare for this. I cannot even put in words what I'm watching take place. You're seeing the same things. You're reading the same things. You're talking to your friends who own small businesses. This is going to get really, really bad, ladies and gentlemen. really, really bad. And it's going to get much worse before it gets better. And we're going to continue to see this flow over into the social aspect. And what we're going to see transpire socially is going to be very, very bad. Very bad. We've got a long way to go. We're going to see states, cities, municipalities go bankrupt. We're going to see pensions go bankrupt. And this is when things get very, very real. But as like many of you, when I go out and drive around or when I visit a location, it's beginning to get very real. And you can see it in people's faces. They're starting to get very, very worried. And they should be. Bad things are coming. And this is not going to stop. It's going to get much worse. Prepare. I'm going to leave it there today. Really, really serious times here for America.